Okay. Wow, that sucks. I had started the stream and I was on my work computer. I'm a teacher, so I'm using my laptop. And I realized I totally forgot my charger inside the classroom and I was trying to get through it. And my computer said nope and shut me down. So it's all good. So now what I'm going to do, I already said a lot of stuff, but I'm just going to repeat it because I felt like I was kind of rushing. So let's break it down again. All right. So again, guys, tonight we have the Chiefs versus the Ravens. Right now the Ravens are -3 and the over/under is 54.5. It's going to be a really good game. I think that it's going to go back and forth. I think a lot of people are going to look at the San Diego Chargers defense handling Mahomes and say, well, maybe Mahomes isn't the real deal, which I think is an absolutely idiotic statement. I think the Chargers are a way different defense than the Ravens. The Chargers are more pass rusher friendly, and they will sack the shit out of anybody. So, the Ravens now are a little bit different. They are not that type of team. They don't seem to rush that much. They're very big on just defending players and making that happen. So we'll talk about that when the time gets there. But for now, what I want to do is I want to talk about the Chiefs running backs. So number one I want to talk about is Clyde Edwards, the rookie that they drafted. I'm still super upset that Daryl Williams is not playing this year. He's one of my favorite players for some odd reason. I really like Daryl Williams. So week 1, Clyde Edwards had 25 carries, and he had 2 targets. That's 25. Okay, my cat said, get out of my face. That's 25 carries, 2 targets. That's fucking nuts. He won me a lot of money that week. I'll be completely honest with you. He did. But then week 2, he had 10 carries on 10 targets. Now, the reason why I think is basically because they couldn't really do anything. The pass rush was getting there too quick, and Edwards just couldn't handle it. And so they had to throw him the ball up. So I don't think you'll see that type of targets tonight. I think what we're going to see is way more handoff to him. So, but anyways, he's only 7,800, and that's way too fucking cheap. For the volume that he's getting, the volume that we've seen so far in the first 2 weeks, they're planning on using this guy more than ever. They're going to use him a lot. At 7,800, wow. He's going up. Well, first of all, the matchup sucks. The matchup is not very good. Baltimore's D is 19th in the run DVOA, and they allow 7th least per yards per carry. So they are fucking good, right? They can handle the run. Now, the only reason why I'm kind of saying that he is one of my favorite plays is because of his price and the volume. It's kind of hard to fade that volume. Like yesterday, for example, Aaron Jones, I didn't love the matchup. I didn't think the matchup was sexy. But I knew the volume was there. I knew that he was going to get a lot of passes. He was still going to get carries. And we even saw a couple deep red zone bombs to him from Aaron Rodgers. Did he get what we really needed? He did okay, right? I don't believe he was in the optimal lineup. So that's just something to think about. It's kind of hard to fade the volume regardless of the matchup. So I really like Clyde Edwards today. He's in that same situation. Hold on one sec. Sorry. Okay. And the other running backs, Daryl Williams. It sounds like he practiced in full. Should be back this week. I think he's okay. I don't see why you would want to play him. The only thing I can think about is if you wanted to play him was because you're playing 150, right? But even in that, I don't know. And then Darwin Thompson, another one. They're MME plays. They're just plays that, like, I don't fucking know. If they score, I don't think it would necessarily kill us. I hope, but I don't think they score. So, anyways, if I was going to touch any of the running backs from the Chiefs, I would definitely only mess with Clyde Edwards. He's the guy that I want a lot of. Now let's talk about the matchup with the wide receivers. Number 1 is Tyreek Hill. He has a super high ceiling, as you know. He draws a tough matchup against Baltimore's D. They are strong against perimeter wide receivers and fast ones too. But this is where I really don't care. Like, I really don't care that they're good against perimeter and wide receivers, fast ones. Fucking cares. All I know is Tyreek Hill is an elite wide receiver that can handle anyone that's going against him. I think he can beat anyone. in this game that we're talking about that's going to be close, right? We're talking about a game that's going to be pretty close. We think it's going to be back and forth. And these types of games, close games, he averages about 29.10 fantasy points per game. 29. It's a lot. So they use him in these big games. Why would they not use him today? I think Pat Mahomes is going to feed him the ball. It's going to keep feeding him the ball. So I love Tyreek Hill today. And he's not super expensive. I mean, he's 9,200, but I would think he'd be like 10K, wouldn't he? Like, shouldn't he be like 10,000? But he's only 9,200. He averages 29.10 fantasy points per close game. So every close game, he's balling the fuck out. And then even in just random games, he's averaging about 17 fantasy points per game. And I think those are points that you definitely need to have in your roster. I will have a lot of him. I just don't see how you not play him. He's going to go against Jimmy Smith, who's no scrub. But I think he can beat Jimmy Smith. I think he can handle Jimmy Smith. I think we could see 6 to 7 targets and for 90 to 100 yards and a touchdown. I wouldn't be surprised. That's Tyreek Hill for you. So don't fade Tyreek Hill. Just because the matchup is not the greatest, don't fade him. This is not the game to fade a bit. Not at all. If it was a slow game, if they were just going to be slow, then that would make sense. But this game's going to be back and forth. I just already know it. Love Tyreek Hill. My second wide receiver is Sammy Watkins. As of right now, he's questionable with a concussion. But from what I've read, he practiced in full on Saturday. Still questionable. Don't know if he's playing. Don't know what's happening with that. But he's going to be lining up against Marcus Peters, who I think is overrated. I think Marcus Peters is overrated. Love Marcus Peters. I love the swag that he has. I just love it because I'm from the Bay. But I think he's overrated. And I think that Sammy Watkins, even someone with a low floor, could score on Marcus Peters. But that's something that we have to keep our eyes on just in case he doesn't play. We still don't know yet. As of right now, 3:38 my time, he's still questionable. But if he does play, I do like him. I think you need to have him in your pool. I think you need to have some exposures to him without a doubt. I think a lot of people are going to jump off because they're afraid of the questionable mark. And it's very true. He could be limited. He could get less snaps or whatever they're doing. But I think that if he's going to fucking play this game, he's playing because he's good to go, right? And I don't see him being super limited in a huge game like this. This is a huge game. I mean, KC versus Baltimore, primetime football, they both want to fucking win. I like Sammy Watkins. So at 5,000, I just don't see how you fade that either if he plays. I think some people will disagree with me, say the matchup isn't the greatest, but again, I don't think Marcus Peters is that great. But again, Watkins is a little risky. Again, his floor is pretty, low. But if he hits his ceiling, you guys are cooking. So I really like Sammy Watkins today. I will take the risk on him. And that's what I do with these showdowns. Take a fucking risk. Take a risk. I mean, Mercedes Lewis scored a fucking touchdown yesterday and screwed me over. Take a risk. Sammy Watkins is your guy. The next wide receiver I want to talk about is Mccoy Hardman. I love Hardman today. I do. I love him today. Especially if Watkins sit. How do you not play this man? His matchup is tough against Marlon Humphreys, but I still think that Hardman gets there. He's 4,600. Let's say we see a limited Watkins. Let's say that the Baltimore is definitely just more focused on Tyreek Hill and Kelsey. They're double teaming. They're doing whatever they fucking got to do. And then Mccoy Hardman's going to be there just like chilling. Hello, throw me the ball. And what's Mahomes going to do? He's not afraid to throw the deep pass. He's not afraid to feed him down the field. He's not afraid to take chances. And Mccoy Hardman is past his shit, right? So I'm going to take a lot of chances on him tonight. I love Mccoy Hardman tonight. If he gets me 8 points, I'm going to be pissed. I really want that touchdown, but honestly, my gut call of the day is Mccoy Hardman gets that TD today. I think we get it. So I love Mccoy Hardman. Another wide receiver I want to talk about is Denard Robinson. He's 3K. He dropped 2 targets week 1, and yeah, he's risky. But it's kind of hard to fade. It's kind of hard to fade these wide receivers on a team who throws the ball a lot. They throw the ball a lot. And I highly doubt they're going to be running the ball that often today against this rough defense. That's why I'm pretty much you didn't miss anything, man. My computer died. You're good. I'm just kind of repeating what I said. What was I going to say? He dropped 2 touchdowns week 1, and kept a lot of people tilted. It kind of helped me out though because I didn't have a lot. But tonight I don't see myself like completely fading him. You can't fade the wide receivers on Kansas City. They throw so much. Like it's possible that any of these dudes in the game with 2 touchdowns. It could be Hardman. It could be Robinson. It could be Hill. It could be Watkins. We really don't know. I don't think you can fade any of these wide receivers due to their matchups because Mahomes is going to find someone and he's going to feed them all day. So I like Denard Robinson. I think he's good for like MME. If you're playing a single entry lineups or maybe 3 max or whatnot, I'll leave that up to you. Maybe a sprinkle, but I wouldn't go crazy. MME, absolutely have it. You got to have them, all of them. So I like Denard Robinson. Another wide receiver that I kind of wanted to discuss, but this is only important if Watkins does sit. Byron Pringle, he's $600. He's gonna get a lot of snaps. Gonna get a lot of maybe not a lot of snaps. He's gonna see a lot. He's gonna see some field time today, and at $600, can't say no to that. But that's only if Watkins is out. If Watkins is in, don't play him. Don't do it. Don't play Pringle. So that's someone I would add to your MME field, so on and so forth. So in order, wide receivers. Obviously, you go Tyreek Hill, number 1. He's the safest. He's expensive, but he has the highest ceiling on the team when it comes to wide receivers. Number 2, I'm gonna be weird about this. I think I'm gonna go Denard Robinson. No. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go Mccoy Hardman. I think he has a higher ceiling. He's risky, but so is Watkins. So at his price, and he's just a little bit cheaper, especially in, price is going to be insane for us on this slate because everyone is so damn expensive. I like Mccoy Hardman 2nd. I would go Watkins 3rd. Then I'd go Denard Robinson 4th. So that's kind of how I look at the wide receivers. I know the matchups are not good, but I'm struggling to fade them. I'm struggling to see this game stay close. Well, I see it staying close, but I see it being high scoring. I think that Baltimore's defense gets a little bit exposed today by the GOAT himself, Patrick Mahomes. I think you need these guys. I think you need some exposure. So, yeah, definitely have those guys. And then, of course, the last one is Travis Kelsey. Now, this is what we're talking about. 10K. He's 10K. Holy shit. He's expensive. He has been targeted about 6 times the last 2 games, and he definitely has a high ceiling. And he has a matchup against Chuck Clark, who is okay. Pretty good. He's all right. But Travis Kelsey's the GOAT, especially in these primetime games. But if I had to pick between Kelsey or Hill, I'd probably go Hill based, again, on salary. But I don't hate either. Play Kelsey. You got to have him. You're playing 3 lineups, play him in 1. I think you need him today. I think you need everyone on the fucking Chiefs. I think this game is going to be so much fun. I think it's going to be so awesome to watch. But Kelsey definitely isn't my favorite play on the Chiefs. So if you're going to ask me, is Hill or Kelsey? It's Hill for me. So that's the Chiefs. They're pretty straightforward. We got Patrick Mahomes, who's $12,000. Again, this is why we have to start talking about this value. Because if you want to play Lamar Jackson and Mahomes in the same lineup, you got to get sneaky. We're going to talk about it in a little bit, too. All right. So let's talk about the Ravens. Now, we're going to talk about the running backs first. First of all, the running backs are a shit show every week. The coach pretty much said that the game plan every week is going to change, whether it's going to be Dobbins or it's going to be Ingram. Changes. He doesn't know. Last week, it was not Dobbins. So we'll talk about that. Mark Ingram, he's 6,800. He leads the snap count in both games. That doesn't say much. He's got 10 to 12 touches. So even though he's leading the snap over all the running backs, he's not getting that many touches. He's 6,800, which is okay. But again, he's going to need to break out for a long run. He's going to need a couple TDs. He's going to have to do something on minimum volume. I could see today being more of an Ingram game because it's such a big game and he's such a proven running back, the veteran. So I could see Baltimore being like, we only trust him today. We really have to win this game. I could see Ingram being that guy. Absolutely. And the Chiefs are not, super great against run D. So, see what I'm saying? He's still risky. 10 to 12 touches. Sucks. But I think today's an Ingram day. And then you got J.K. Dobbins, who's 5,600. He had 2 TDs week 1, and I had him on my fantasy team, and I was like, fucking gotta steal. I gotta steal. But then week 2, he got 3 carries. See what I'm saying? So, obviously, Ingram is still the main guy. Obviously. That's the feeling I'm getting. I think Dobbins is just waiting for something to happen. Ingram gets hurt, he may never get his job back. I don't know. It's a tough one. I would obviously prefer Ingram due to the for sure volume, but Dobbins could be that sneaky guy. I'm telling you, can't you see like a Dobbins 3 TD game and you're just like, fuck. It could happen. It could absolutely happen. So I don't love him, but have him in your pool. Probably won't have a lot, but I want to make sure I have some. So Dobbins. And then the third running back, Gus Edwards, 1,600. He got 10 carries week 2. Fucking 10. 10 carries. I think that is going to boost his ownership quite a bit. But I believe he only got the 10 carries because it was such a blowout. They just really weren't trying to make their starters play a lot of minutes. And so Gus Edwards got his work. Do I think it's going to happen again today? I mean, if you think that someone's going to get blown out, sure, you could definitely get some carries. But, I personally don't believe that it's going to go that route. I'm probably not going to have any. And if it kills me, it kills me. That's just the risk I'm willing to take. So running backs again, Mark Ingram, number 1, obviously the safer volume. Number 2, I think Dobbins could easily be the lower ownership optimal play, but definitely risky. And then Gus Edwards is just someone you want to sprinkle in if you're playing 150 max. So again, the Ravens running back situation is a shit show. It's a shit show. Let's talk about the wide receiver. Now, the wide receivers are a little bit easier. And this is where I think we're going to make our bread. This is where we're going to make our money. So, number 1, Hollywood Brown. Marquise Brown. He's 8,400. He's leading the team in targets and air yards. He's going to line up L'Jarius Sneed, who has allowed 22 DK points week 1 to Fuller and 16.60 to Allen week 2. He's going to get burned, right? You would think he's going to get burned again, and Hollywood Brown's going to have his day. Yeah, he's 8,400. It's too cheap. Too cheap. I like him today, guys. I mean, what can I say? I mean, you don't need me to tell you that, but I'm just trying to tell you reasons why I like him. I think he's too cheap. I think he could definitely score ceiling today. I think we could see that, especially if this game is back and forth. His matchup is great. What's not to love about Hollywood Brown? Gotta love me some Hollywood Brown. My second wide receiver I want to talk about, and now this is where I think we make our fucking bread. This is where we make it. Now, before this week, I was actually looking at wide receiver matchups, and I'm kind of studying stuff like that right now. And the first thing that came to my mind was Miles Boykin. Yeah, Miles Boykin, 3,400. Miles Boykin leads the team in snaps and second on the team with 9 targets. Did you know that? Because I didn't know that for this week. He's second on the team with 9 targets. That's pretty low, though. But so fucking a lot. I love his matchup against Rashad Fenton. Again, he's on the field a lot. He's getting a lot of snaps. He's getting a lot of targets. He's only 3,400. He's playing in a game that should be back and forth. What's not to love about the man Miles Boykin? Gotta love that Miles Boykin today. And I got another sneaky thing that we're going to talk about Miles Boykin when we get down to the end. Love Miles Boykin. He would definitely be part of my Lamar Jackson stacks, without a fucking doubt. Love me some Miles. Love Miles Boykin. Lock him in, guys. Another wide receiver that I kind of like. His matchup's still pretty good. Willie Smith, 4,400. The only issue with Willie Smith is that he requires a lot of volume. He could easily get us a touchdown. He's normally pretty good with that. He like those nice little 10-yard passes or whatnot. He normally does that. But he's playing for a team who doesn't throw too often, right? So he's going to need the volume to get there, but he could easily get there with a touchdown. I really like his matchup. Again, I don't think the Chiefs secondary is very good at all. He's 4,400. I like him. I want him in my pool. I want exposure. I like him. I like Boykins more than I like Snead, but I think you need some Snead in your life. I do. So I like Snead tonight. Okay, so wide receivers, pretty simple right there. I'm just talking about those three guys. Obviously, you would go Marquise Brown's my #1 top play. I think he has the highest ceiling out of all of them. I like Miles Boykin based on his price and targets, and he leads the team with snaps. I mean, I want the volume over anything, especially on showdowns. And again, 3,400. Wow. And then Willie Smith would be my third pick, 4,400. It's a little bit riskier, but I think he's a little bit safer bet for a touchdown if you had to think that. But again, you need to ask yourself, do you like volume or touchdowns more? I'm more of a volume guy. That's just me, especially on the PPR sites. Okay, so my last player, or one of my last players I'm going to talk about, we're talking about tight ends. Mark Andrews. So dating back to last year, he has had 6 red zone targets his last 3 games. For him to hit tonight at 8,000, he's got to need those touchdowns. He could get there. He could. He's 8,000. And I know that's not super expensive for someone with his upside, but I think he does bring a little more risk. I don't know. I'm a little bit worried tonight with the pricing. But I like Mark Andrews. I'm not going to talk you off him. The matchup is okay. He'll be he'll get fed. He'll get his targets. I mean, if he's getting 6 red zone targets within the last 3 games, they're targeting him in the red zone. So I think his safe bet is a TD tonight. I'm just not sure if he gets us there with the yards either, if that makes sense. So I like Mark Andrews. He's fine. He's a good play. And then the second tight end I want to talk about is Nick Boyle. Nick Boyle. He's 800. He only has 2 targets, but he's playing a fuck ton of snaps. And as we've seen in these showdown slates, it's always those random guys. Always. And if you don't have him, you don't take down shit. So have him in your pool. He's risky. If you're playing 1 to 3, and you're not playing the 150 max, I don't see him being super high owned, so I don't think it'd be a big deal if he scored. But I think if you're playing 150 max, you need these guys. So he's all right. He's cool. And then another play I want to talk about is Devin Durbinay. I probably killed his name. Probably did. He's 400. Week 1, he had 1 catch for 12 yards. Week 2, he had 1 catch for 19 yards. All he needs is a catch to reach value. And imagine if he got that touchdown. Then you would have to have him in your lineup to be considered optimal, no matter what. And tonight, we're going to need that value. We're going to need that value, without a doubt. We'll talk about that right now. So, again, obviously talking about those players, you already know what the favorite is. It's going to be Mark Andrews, the safest bet. Then I'd probably go Nick Boyle. Again, he's only gotten 2 targets, but he's playing a ton of snaps, and I like that. I want players on the field. And then Devin Durbinay, he's gotten 2 catches the last 2 games for, 10-plus yards. If he gets us a touchdown, guys, we're cooking, right? So, anyways. So now this is where you really have to break down how you're going to set your rosters out. If you've looked at the pricing so far, everyone is fucking expensive, right? If you wanted to do, and obviously in showdown slates, I've seen most optimals all of a sudden now are looking like to be 2 quarterbacks, like the 2 QBs. And tonight we have 2 of the best quarterbacks in the league playing against each other, and they're both expensive for a reason. We have Lamar at $13K and then Mahomes at $12K. How can we get both of those in our lineups? And that starts with our captain. Captains. So I think the captains tonight are going to be a little bit different than your normal type of builds. So I'm going to talk about my favorite captain plays, and I'll explain to you why. So number 1, I like Boykins. I will have a shit ton of Boykins as my captain. Is it risky? Is he cheap? Does he allow me to get Lamar Jackson and Mahomes in my lineup? See what I'm saying? If he gets us that touchdown or just has a decent game, he's not going to be the highest scoring player. I'm not betting that he is, but I am betting that he exceeds his value. I'm betting that he gets what I need so I can play both those quarterbacks in my lineup. That's why I like Boykins. I like his matchup. I like his targets. I like his snap rate. I love that shit. Love Miles Boykin. I really like these value guys in my captains. I'm willing to take a chance on Boykins. I'm willing to take a chance on Hardman. I'm willing to take a chance on Snead. I'm willing to take a chance on Robinson. I'm willing to take a chance on all those values tonight if I want those 2 quarterbacks. Now, you may not want those 2 quarterbacks. You might just say, fuck it, I just want 1. And I'll kind of just game script around that, right? Maybe I think that the Chiefs are just going to run the ball the whole game, which I wouldn't understand why. But if you thought that way, right? So if you're going to think that way, obviously I would think like this. I think I would like Edwards to be my number 1 captain play as a safer bet. Again, his matchup is not good. Ravens can stop the run, but his volume is a for sure thing. And if he sees those targets like he did week 2, which I wouldn't be fucking surprised that he sees it again today, then he's going to exceed that value without a doubt. Without a doubt. Give me 10 targets for my running back any day. So I like Tyreek Hill be my number 2. I think he's going to eat tonight. Oh boy, I think he destroys Baltimore tonight. And if I'm wrong, shit. That makes me hate the Chiefs even more. But I think he eats tonight. I think he goes out there and he handles Smith with ease. I think we see a Tubb. I think we see a Tyreek Hill game today. I really like him. He's expensive, though. He's going to be an expensive captain, and he doesn't allow you to get both QBs. It just depends how you're looking at this slate. Okay? So I like Hill. Obviously, the next one would be Kelsey. I'll take that back. I like Hollywood Brown over Kelsey due to his pricing, due to his matchup, due to his air yards, due to Lamar throws to him all the time. I really like Brown. I think he's my top 3. Absolutely. I wouldn't even hate you too. I wouldn't even hate it if I said Brown over Hill because of pricing. That's how I'm looking at it. And then I would go Kelsey, and then I would go Andrews. So tonight's slate is like a big clusterfuck in my opinion. There's just so many ways to look at it. There's so many ways. But I do think a lot of people are going to screw up, and they're going to play both QBs or try to, and they're going to try to play like these top, offensive players in their captain spot, and their lineup's going to be a bunch of punts. It could work. I don't think it does. I don't think you end up in the optimal. You would need these punts to hit. So I'm leaning more towards the value captain plays. I'm not saying that I won't have some of these studs as my captains, but I think you want to try to get both QBs tonight. Especially if you think this game is going to be back and forth, which Vegas does, and I'm leaning towards it being that way too. I mean, these teams always ball out against each other. So, again, just think about that. It depends on how you want to set up your roster. It depends if you want to do both QBs. It depends what on you. Just use all the tools that I just gave you and kind of build from there. All right? All right. Well, sorry again about my computer shutting off on me. Won't happen again. But other than that, if you have any questions, hit me up in Slack, especially the people from the group. If you have not signed up yet, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. We're making a lot of money. Last night, I just took down LOL with my boy XM and Ray in there, just handling business, doing what we got to do. I don't know where you guys are at. So make sure you join the DFS headquarters. Check out the sheets. I drop a sheet every Sunday. This Sunday I won't because it's my birthday. I'm old this year, guys. 31. I'm a grandpa now. No, I'm not old, but yeah. Let's make some money. Let's make some money tonight. All right. Good luck to everybody. I'll see you at the top.